Hi, Chris. How are you?
Ah, Rob, the voice I've yearned for the past 2 weeks.
Month? 2 months?
3
months?
Has it been that
Where have
long?
you been? You're
Rob,
a busy boy.
I was away. I can't tell you where I was yet, of course, due to copyright restrictions and liabilities.
The Institute for the Very, 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 Very Nervous?
The Institute for the Very, 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 Very Busy. And they wouldn't let me out. They wouldn't let me smile. They wouldn't let me eat proper. They told me that I could go home some days, and then they changed their minds.
Well, I've been here. I've had my lights set up. I've just been sitting. I have the camera here, and I've just been waiting for you. And now you're here.
Rob, don't make it sound like I've been dodging the bullet. I can't tell you. I was dreaming about the podcast. I probably told you that. I was having dreams that I was sitting in front of a bright light, talking shit and getting drunk.
Were you in the studio or were you at home?
I think, you know what, it was a warm place. I don't know where that was. It was very, very warm. And there was a man that looked like you, except he had a funny pointy tail. He was very similar looking. How are you, Robert?
Slight sunburn, sort of dark, deep tan, reddish.
Yeah, that's him. Dinner jacket, tux.
I'm good, Chris. I'm happy.
Rob, you're always happy.
I can get down on things, but I'm happy right now. I'm very happy.
Good.
I'm happy that things are looking up. I've got my first vaccination.
Mm-hmm. What did you get? Did you get Pfizer or the other one?
I got the Pfizer.
Did you?
Yes.
I get AstraZeneca. I don't know if I'm going to get the second one, Rob.
Why?
Because all the fucking countries are stopping.
You have to get the second one.
Because
your percentage jumps up, twofold or whatever, astronomically after that. AstraZeneca after that.
AstraZeneca.
Yeah. You need to get the second one.
Astra blood clotly. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, Johnson & Johnson is blood clots now too.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, they Johnson & Johnson had 7 deaths of blood clots in something like 15 million injections.
No.
Yeah, it's ridiculously low.
That's not
it's
low.
Below. It's below flu shots. It's below all that stuff. So people, the media is just glamming onto this stuff.
You know that?
Stop it.
You know what that noise was, Rob? That was Leah standing on my Pro Photo bag, standing on it, on top of it. Actually standing on it with all her weight.
Why was she doing that?
God only knows why she was doing it. God
is she
only
gone
knows.
now, or is she still there?
Do you think I'd be saying that if she was here? She was getting a steel chopstick for Patrick to scratch his broken arm with. You couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make that COVID-related story up. Rob, what are you drinking? Red wine.
Coffee. I've got my coffee going right here.
I've got tea. I get cider flavored tea. Do you know what? I haven't drank.
I have a deep, dark blend of
whiskey.
Rebecca bean.
Rebecca.
Kind of red. It's kind of reddish. But
when you said that, you know what I thought about? The witch trials around Bale and McGee. Why is that?
I have no idea. I have 2 stories.
Oh, good. I have kind of 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm not looking at the screen for any of these. I'm just, I maybe will glance. Let's hear.
You want to go first, or should I?
You go first. You know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You do.
Oh, yes. I'm talking about narrative.
Fuck.
I'm sure you got your email from Narrative.
Oh, I thought you meant narrative, as in we were going to talk about narrative.
Narrative, the software.
No,
that,
I didn't. Did you get one? They're starting to charge.
Yeah. I've gotten several.
They're starting to charge.
Yeah.
I have. What? Why? Let me just check. I haven't got it. Why have I not got it?
$150 a year to use their service, to use that editing service that we've talked about in the past. That
moving out of beta.
That looks at the person's face, if it's in focus or if it's not in focus, if they're blinking,
Close-up panels.
blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dynamic zoom.
It's very good. It's very nice.
Ship to Lightroom.
Really works really well.
Ship to Lightroom.
I don't know how that. I haven't tried the latest version to see how that works.
Are they giving it to you for free because you were a trialer?
No.
No? Really?
It's still at no.
How much you get? How much you getting off?
100. Nothing at all.
Are you gonna get it?
Nope.
No.
No, I'm not going to get it. Because at the end of the day, I shouldn't say I'm not going to get it because I haven't tried the latest version to see how it ships from narrative back into Lightroom.
And is it
in the previous versions? I wouldn't buy it based on those.
Because it was sluggish. Because it was
because it was too many hoops to jump through.
Yeah, you didn't go through RAW, did it? It was JPEG only.
No, it was it was I can't even remember. That's now like months ago. But at 150 pounds, I did a shoot a couple weeks ago, and I shot about 1,200 images.
Yeah.
And I did my usual workflow where I just did global corrections on everything.
Yeah.
I did 1-to-1 previews.
Mm-hmm.
I came back an hour later, and I just ripped through them all in 40 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah. For narrative to do it for me instantly or whatever, in 10 minutes, is it worth 150 pounds a year to have another piece of software on my computer that I need to migrate back and forth between? I don't know. I need to try the last version to give a definitive answer to that, but
also in that, well, like I'm probably taking that per day at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were busy, it might be worth it to catch that time back. But if you're saying it's hoopy and you have to go between stuff, but also there's part of that in my head that says, do I utterly? But it's AI. I must have to trust it.
Mm-hmm.
But is it taken out? Let's say somebody was blinking somebody was off to the right and they were blinking, and the talent, was really my, sometimes I'm on set.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, well then that wouldn't work for me because sometimes I'm shooting I'm shooting somebody, but there's there's a props guy standing to the right, and I know I'm going to take him out. I'm going to crop into it, and they could be doing anything. In fact, they're probably not even in focus. They're not, so that would be problematic for me.
Yeah. So you would have three tiers. You would have your totally in focus.
Yeah.
Positive shots, your green coded shots.
Yeah.
Then in the middle you would have your yellow shots, which are slightly out of focus, or one person's out of focus, and then you would have your red shots at the bottom where people are out of focus and shit just doesn't even match.
Yeah.
So you would be looking at that yellow grouping, and you would be sorting through those ones all the time.
Yeah, so it's not, at that 10 minutes would turn into 20 minutes.
Between, if you've got 1,200 to 1,800 images in a day, you could do that in 40 minutes to an hour.
Oh, I know.
So is narrative worth it? The judge is out on this one.
Well,
the jury is out on this one.
But who's it going to be? Who's it aimed at, Rob? Fashion?
Weddings.
Huh?
Yeah, no, wedding photographers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, I can see how that would, of course, I'm not even thinking of that. Yeah, I can see how that would be. I can see how that would work. But then you could have somebody, in a group shot who's blinking and off it goes, and it's your best shot. Maybe you just have to migrate a pair of eyes into those cheeky sockets. Do you know what I mean?
Comp in some eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a complicated one. I think whenever I can talk to AI and say, "Here, mate, here's the crack. I need 80 shots, babes. Would you mind awfully getting in there and sorting that for me?" And then,
hey Siri.
Yeah. Yeah, and whenever you're
Hey
finished,
Siri.
would you make me a cup of tea?
Hey Siri. hey. No, that's not what I said. Hey Siri. No, change. No, change. No, cancel. No, cancel. Change. Cancel. No. Oh, fuck it.
I didn't mean whip it. I didn't mean the dog. You yeah. But do you know something, Rob? You know that technology in like 50 years, whenever you're in a nursing home, all the shit that you give Siri is going to come back and bite your ass. You know that? Because they're going to have files, all the AIs and all the robots going to have
Siri's
files.
going to bite my ass while I'm in a nursing home.
Yeah, they're going to
I'll
come
probably
back.
look forward to that.
They're going to be like, do you remember, Rob, you told me to shut the fuck up? Well, here's your catheter time. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
What's your first story, dude?
My first story isn't really a story, Rob. What is a story? You know how I operate. I have been trying to relax between times, okay, by not looking at photography so much, because I'm doing a lot of photography, but not wanting to not look at art, of course. So I've been going through and getting books that kind of take me somewhere else. I have a thing coming up soon. We can't talk about it because it hasn't been launched yet. But I need to be doing other stuff, okay? Performance related, maybe not.
You doing pantomime?
Yeah. Look out
Some
behind.
Marcel Marceau stuff?
Look out behind you. He wasn't a pantomimist. He was a mimist. Although he was wearing pants, so in America he would have been a pantomimist. Oh, I'm very good, Rob. Do you know what I did? I carried a bottle of cider into my room and I bent over to plug something in, not knowing I'd uncapped it, and it poured all over the seat. And I'm now sitting in a wet cidery seat. My first one is a little book that I'm holding up now. I know, Rob, don't. And it's called. Oh, and yeah, there was you couldn't make it up. And I also stood on two things. I stood on a dried out Pritt stick.
Pro photo bag.
A dried up Pritt stick, okay, and a tank for developing film. Two things I stood on, both very different sizes. Put me off kilter. Down went the cider. My first story is 100 British Documentaries, a little beautiful book from the BFI. Okay, it's not new. Okay, it's not new to me. I've had it. Oh, I don't know how long I've had it. 2007. How long was that? No.
Wow.
2007.
14 years.
No. That can't be right.
Do the math.
Jeez, it must be. It's signed. Look. It's signed by Patrick Russell, who's the putter together of the book, and Patrick Russell's mum, Jane Russell, lives beside Leah's mum and dad. But he was bigwig in the BFI. So I have this 100 British Documentaries, okay, and I merrily. Are you a member of the BFI? No.
No.
You want to stop narrative and hook yourself up, but it was like, out to play 1936, 10 minutes. Harold Lowenstein, out to play an obscure film by an obscure director, refuses any of the obvious categorizations of 1930s documentary, neither avant-garde nor political, nor made by the documentary movement. It's an entertainment short intended for cinema distribution, but produced outside the studio system with evident creativity and an unusual style. Something you want to watch that, Rob? Out to play, 1936, wow. 10 minutes. And then we have a still from it, which is Pavement Life, seen it out to play, and it's two young boys. Paul Rees, it's just absolutely beautiful. And as we go through, I have pages marked for ones that I have watched and ones I want to watch. But there's ones that are 60 minutes long, 5 and under, 60 minutes by Donald Alexander. The war that brought Britons together into vital collaborations prompted many to reflect on how collective effort might be continued afterwards. These feelings began finding expression in documentary groupings towards post-war world as war raged. Now, this for me, where I'm at,
that's a lot to think about.
Yeah, but it's kind of like what this does for me is I remember Kieran O'Garnell, talking about his love of early Russian cinema and the masters, right? And I knew very little about that. And then, of course, you go and you take advice and you go and watch some stuff and you're like, Christ almighty, you can see how that's played into his work, okay, for sure, okay. And then you're like, okay, it's, it's moving image, it's everything else. Of course, my money's been made in moving image at the minute, and for me, this stuff is just, it's a gold mine. It's somewhere to go and relax. You can, like a 10 minute, it's just gorgeous. To go and read about it, even if you can't find it, to go and read about it and see what the crack is and how it was put together and why it was put together and all the stuff around that is just beautiful. And also the images that they've put in is just magic. Unfortunately, the front shot looks a wee bit like Martin Power. I'm gonna have to double check that out. Never thought of that. Dear old Martin, I've forgiven them for everything,
Yeah, after what's his name at Magnum?
What's his name? Oh, Cheeky Chops Hotels.
Who got kicked?
Yeah, he's not kicked.
David Harvey.
Oh,
Oswald?
I've made a fool of myself. It's actually not. Of course, it's not. It's from Tall Stories, Andrew Notting, 1996. Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, he was definitely taking the piss. So this, if you're looking for something that you want to go and have an adventure into something that isn't photography but will inform your photography, 100 British documentaries, 2007.
Cool.
That can't be right. Let me hold on. Just while we're here, let's look up and see what the crack is. Maybe I've time travelled.
Maybe you have, Chris.
No, copyright 2007, Patrick Russell.
Wow.
2007? No, that's crazy. How long ago was that?
That's 14 years.
I probably bought that to try and impress Leah. And there's I can't, no, it wasn't. I actually didn't buy it. It was
14 years.
I think it was gifting it. 14 years. That's before we either.
14.
Whenever 14 years ago, Sony was was a television on the wall. So imagine you. Listen, let's time travel, okay? Let's go back. Let's go back to 2007, okay? With imagine 2007. I'd met up with you and said, Rob, I have this really, really lovely idea. Imagine we had something that could go in and cull your images for you just by looking at faces.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. I don't know if I believe you.
Imagine something that focuses on an eye, and practically every shot you take is sharp.
Oh my God!
And you're going to do it 20 frames a second.
Oh my God, Chris! Think about like in the mid-90s when autofocus just started coming out, like Canon just started developing autofocus.
It was witchcraft.
Nikon had their f3 AF, which was a joke, yeah. and then Canon started doing like, well, I guess at the end of the 90s they started doing the EF lenses.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was just
talk of the time.
Next to atrocious, like how bad it was.
Talk of the time, but it was still seen as being advanced.
Oh yes, yeah.
Imagine.
And you heard about. Sorry, and we'll do a little sideline right here. Okay,
yeah.
Tangent.
Yeah.
You heard that one of their latest bodies. It's not going to be the R3, the new R3, the flagship model that's coming out, but the next Canon body, mirrorless body that's coming out, is supposedly going to use eye control autofocus.
No, it's not.
So, yeah. Well, they experimented with this back in the 90s, where depending on where your eye was looking in the frame, that's where it would focus on. They're going to do that again. They redeveloped it, and it's going to do this.
Well, how am I going to work with hot prop guys? You know what I mean?
Huh.
Nathan walks in. Nathan walks into the set. Nathan's a real prop guy, and he's hot. I look, and Nathan's there. I can't take my eyes off him. I keep looking. He's got the beard. He's handsome. He's kind of a furry Jamie Dornan. There I am. Oh no, the talent! I've missed the crack. You need
to buy yourself a thermos, Chris.
Thermos flask?
Yep.
Why?
Because you take that thermos and you just go bang,
On your willy?
bang, and you will have no more thoughts about Nathan.
I can't believe I'm talking about Nathan so openly. He's very very good photographer. He's on Instagram under Goggle. Yeah, he's a nice guy. But that's just a for instance. You know what I mean?
That's 20 minutes.
Is that long we're in?
Yep, we're in 20 minutes. We got 10 minutes left.
Jesus.
What's your next story?
Well, I was gonna do a wee present. I'll tell you what the wee present is, but then I want to move on because it's only 10 minutes. I'm not going to waste any time.
Okay.
Okay. So mine is mouthful of golds. Anyone you maybe know this already. Big American. Anyone in Atlanta was a regular at Famous Eddie's. Oh. What's Famous Eddie's? And it's basically a story about black cultural spheres, broader black cultural spheres, Eddie's famous gold teeth, right? And it's hip hop, it's dentistry, it's fashion, it's fucking glorious. Go and look, it's just, I'll stick a line up, but that's not what I want to talk about, okay? I'll stick a link to it for sure, right? But my story, if I can get my mouse to work, is about friendship, Rob.
Oh.
Okay, and Wikipedia, friendship is a relationship of mutual affection between people. It is a stronger form of interpersonal bond than an association, and has been studied in academic fields such as communication, etc., etc. Although there are many forms of friendship, some of which vary from place to place, certain characteristics are present in many types of such bonds. Such characteristics include affection, kindness, love, virtue, sympathy, empathy, honesty, altruism, loyalty, generosity, forgiveness, mutual understanding, and compassion. Now, what's interesting about that, Rob, is that you are bags full of all of those things. And
Am I?
Well, you mean to just take the compliment. Loyalty, generosity, mutual understanding. Well, maybe not mutual understanding, in fairness. Trust. But yes, you are. And we've been having a hard time because we want to do this, and due to certain circumstances, it couldn't happen. So I was just thinking about our relationship, and I know I always say about loving you and stuff, and you always get a wee bit awkward for it, and it became a bit of a fun thing where I would say, "Please say it," and you'd say, "No, I like you a lot." But in an honest level, that friendship, especially with the whole COVID thing, is very, very important. It's not about photography, although ours does revolve a lot around photography.
Yeah.
It's about it's a broader thing. It's about keeping people right. It's about telling people the truth. It's about all the stuff that you have boundless amounts of stuff in. And I want to thank you for it. There you go. What do you think of that?
Thank you.
And that's heartfelt, Rob. It's not me taking the piss. It's not me being facetious. It's a true feeling that I've had for the past 2 weeks, and it's kind of like, you know what Evel Knievel? You know whenever you get the wee toy and you wind it up?
Oh yeah.
You wind it up, and you went faster and faster, but you had to do the button, and off he shot. Well, that's how I felt this last wee while. I felt like somebody's winding up me Evel Knievel, but nobody was there to press my button. And you're the button presser, Rob. You hear what I'm saying? Are you purring?
Listen. No, that's Lucky is growling at me because she wants cookies. Listen, everybody needs to appreciate everybody right now. Like whatever sort of relationship that you have with a person, with another human being, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because life is fleeting.
The short.
You know, it's not anything that you should ever, belittle. I am so happy that I have people in my life. Lucky, I'm trying to do a soliloquy here.
Don't interrupt Rob. He's almost being Shakespeare. He's certainly shaking his spear. But Rob, do you know?
Anyways,
do you know?
I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate you. I appreciate my clients. I appreciate anybody that actually spends the time to reflect with me.
Hold on.
To talk to me, to give me a personal tidbit of their life, and I'll give one back.
Rob,
Like it just.
can I interrupt a second? Because I think what Lucky was saying just a few seconds ago was, you know, don't be so broad with your direction. You know, hone that arrow. You're not spraying the room full of machine guns.
I'm trying to spray that affection across everybody that I've met.
What's that, Lucky?
I'm spraying affection.
Chris is stuck down the well.
Everyone.
What's that, Lucky? There's a boy stuck in a well. Rob, tell us your last story.
My last story is, we were talking about Lynn Goldsmith.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a latest copyright story about a museum that used a photograph of Eddie Van Halen in their exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And the photographer, whose name was Lawrence Moreno.
Oh, Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah. He sued the museum for copyright infringement. But you can see this 10,000 miles away. It's fair use. It's for educational purposes. It's within a museum. There's no commercial value to it.
No.
I mean, there's commercial value in that people pay to go inside the museum.
Yeah, but nobody's going to sue a museum, Rob.
But the exhibit itself, that is showing that, whatever the Eddie Van Halen
it's mean-spirited. It's mean-spirited.
Look, people need to understand copyright, and like, the more that people get educated about it, the better it is. And this is obviously a case that's going to fail.
Yeah. Oh, it hasn't come to fruition yet, no?
Oh, it's over, yeah.
Oh, is it?
He lost.
Okay.
He lost, yeah.
Of course,
the museum won.
How much did it cost him?
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever.
So that's my second story. We got 2 minutes left.
What we do, Rob? Do you want to do a dance?
Yeah. Well, I thought you had one more.
No. Here,
we'll pop one off.
No. I do want to say that the Pro Photo stuff that I bought, the B10s, I've been out in action with them.
You have two?
Yeah.
I might.
Did you think I bought one?
I think I might need to borrow them.
You can borrow them anytime you want. You're 70 to 200 in a bag. You can borrow them. Rob,
that's 70 to 200.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Do you want your name on it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Rob, you
want your name on it? Just let me know.
You can borrow my pants anytime you want. You can borrow my Pro Photos.
I don't want your pants. I don't want your pants.
The Pro
Photo. Fucking want your pants.
What I'm going to say is, I had to set up a really small thing to do a really big photograph, and the space was.
Daddy
tight.
needs money.
It was. Oh yeah.
Daddy needs money.
Well,
Daddy needs money.
Why do I find that attractive, Rob?
I don't know. And on that note,
are we going?
Chris,
Pro Photos
has been great.
Pro Photos are incredible, Rob. They're incredible.
Yeah, I'll send you some images that I shot on B10s in the past.
The wee thing from the top of your camera eats batteries. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
It's the only downside, and you can't see what you're at. But
you just need to go to Macro and buy yourself a big pack of Duracells, man.
That's just what
20 pack or a 48 pack of Duracells.
It's just what I've done. Well, I didn't. I got the camera.
All right, dude.
Rob,
I'll see you next week, hopefully.